Ever wondered how ancient armies brought down castle walls? Meet the Ballista, the giant crossbow of the ancient world. First appearing around the 5th century BCE in Greece, this incredible siege engine was a game-changer on the battlefield. Think of it as a supersized crossbow, but instead of small arrows, it launched massive bolts, or even heavy stones. Its power came from twisted ropes, or animal sinew, which stored immense tension. When released, it could hurl projectiles over huge distances, smashing through enemy fortifications, and wreaking havoc on troops from afar. The ballista was so effective that the Romans adopted and perfected it, making it a standard piece of their military hardware. Its brilliant design laid the groundwork, ruled the waves. Let me introduce you to their ultimate naval weapon, the Trireme. Imagine a sleek, fast warship, powered not by sails, but by the sheer muscle of its crew. That's the Trireme for you. Appearing around the 7th century BCE, this ship was a game-changer. Its name comes from its most defining feature: 3 rows of oars on each side, manned by over 170 rowers working in perfect sync. This design made it incredibly fast and maneuverable, but its real power was the massive bronze ram at the front. The main tactic was to speed towards an enemy ship and smash a giant hole in its hull, sinking it in minutes. The Trireme was the backbone of the Athenian navy, securing their victory in legendary battles like Salamis, and smashed through massive stone walls from hundreds of feet away. They didn't have cannons or missiles, but they had something just as terrifying: the catapult. Invented back in the 4th century BCE in ancient Greece, this incredible machine completely changed the game of siege warfare. Imagine a giant, super-powered slingshot. The earliest versions used tension, like a massive bow, but the real power came from torsion. They'd twist ropes made of animal sinew or hair to build up immense energy. When released, that energy would launch huge projectiles. We're talking massive stones, flaming balls of tar, and sometimes even diseased animals, to spread sickness inside enemy cities. The catapult allowed attackers to break down defenses from a safe distance, making what was once an impossible fortress suddenly vulnerable. It truly was the 6th century BCE. The battlefield is a chaotic storm of dust and steel, but one weapon cuts through the noise, striking terror into the hearts of even the bravest soldiers. I'm talking about the Scythed Chariot. This wasn't just your average chariot. It was a mobile death machine. The Persians ingeniously attached massive, sharp blades to the wheels. Imagine 2 of these thundering towards you, a whirlwind of spinning scythes. Their goal wasn't just to trample the enemy, but to literally slice through their formations. The sheer psychological impact was devastating. Enemy lines would break in panic, creating chaos and disarray before the main army even clashed. It was a brutal, terrifying, and incredibly effective piece of ancient military engineering. What conquered so much of the ancient world? A big part of the answer is this weapon right here, the Gladius. This wasn't just any sword. It was the standard issue sidearm for the legendary Roman legions, starting around the 2nd century BCE. So what made it so special? Look at its size. It's a short sword, only about 20 to 24 inches long. This wasn't for fancy dueling. It was designed for one thing: brutally efficient close-quarters combat. Roman soldiers fought in tight formations like the famous testudo, or tortoise formation. In that crush of bodies, a long sword is useless. But the short, sharp Gladius was perfect for quick, deadly stabs. This simple, effective design gave the highly disciplined Roman army a massive advantage. It was the tool that carved out one of history's greatest empires. Thanks for watching. If you love learning about history's most iconic weapons, its recipe was a state secret for centuries. Let's talk about Greek fire, the Byzantine Empire's ultimate naval weapon. Picture this. It's the 7th century, and enemy ships are closing in on Constantinople. Suddenly, the Byzantine navy unleashes a stream of liquid fire that can't be put out with water. It actually burns *on* the water. This wasn't just fire. It was a sticky, combustible liquid projected through a siphon. Like an ancient flamethrower, it clung to ships and sailors, creating pure chaos and panic. For centuries, this terrifying weapon gave the Byzantines a massive advantage at sea, helping them repel numerous invasions, including major Arab sieges. The exact formula. It was so secret that when the empire fell, the recipe was lost forever. To this day, historians and scientists are still trying to figure out what was in it. Of a tank looked like. Forget siege towers for a second, and imagine this, a living, breathing mountain of muscle thundering across the battlefield. I'm talking about the war elephant, the ultimate heavy cavalry of empires like ancient India and Persia. Picture this, it's the 4th century BCE. These colossal animals, often clad in armor, weren't just for show. They were mobile fortresses, carrying archers and spearmen on their backs, raining down chaos from above. Their main job, to charge headfirst into enemy lines, using their sheer size and terrifying presence to break formations and trample soldiers underfoot. This wasn't just a psychological weapon, it was devastatingly effective. At the famous Battle of Gaugamela, the Persian king Darius III unleashed his war elephant. Picture this. It's the Middle Ages, and knights in shining armor dominate the battlefield. They seem unstoppable, right? Well, think again. The longbow, often towering over 6 feet tall, was a true game changer. In the hands of a skilled English archer, this weapon was absolutely lethal. The secret was its incredible power. Arrows fired from a longbow could travel hundreds of yards and, more importantly, punch right through a knight's steel armor. At famous battles like Agincourt, thousands of English archers unleashed storms of arrows, devastating the seemingly invincible French knights. The longbow didn't just win battles. It revolutionized warfare, proving that a well-trained common soldier could defeat the aristocratic elite. It was the weapon that redefined down mammoths. Forget just throwing a spear with your bare hands. Say hello to the Atlatl, a total game changer from the Stone Age, going back as far as 30,000 years ago. This isn't just a stick. It's a brilliant piece of ancient engineering. The Atlatl acts like an extension of your arm, a powerful lever that launches a spear, or dart, with incredible speed and force. Imagine trying to throw a spear far enough to hunt a bison. Now, clip that spear into the Atlatl, and with a flick of the wrist, you're sending it flying faster, further, and with deadly accuracy. This simple but effective tool was used all over the world, but it was especially vital in the Americas for hunting massive prehistoric beasts and for warfare. It's a perfect example of how human power, suddenly needing to rule the seas. How did they do it? They didn't just build better ships. They changed the rules of naval warfare with a secret weapon, the Corvus. Picture this. A massive Roman warship pulls up alongside a Carthaginian vessel, but instead of just firing arrows, a huge, hinged bridge, about 36 feet long, slams down onto the enemy deck. At the end of this bridge is a heavy, sharp spike, the crow's beak, that digs into the wood, locking the two ships together. Suddenly, the naval battle turns into a land battle. Roman legionaries, masters of close-quarters combat, storm across the bridge. The Carthaginians, skilled sailors but not expecting an infantry charge at sea, are completely overwhelmed. This ingenious device, the Corvus, allowed Rome to dominate the First Punic War and become a naval superpower. It was a game changer. Thanks for watching.